even on days where you don't feel like getting up, you get up, you turn up, you do the necessary work, and you don't even give yourself an opportunity or a chance or time to actually pat yourself on the back because you don't know how many things that were against you that you had to fight through in order for you to make what you are currently doing a reality. Welcome yet again to another Motivational Maniac podcast episode. It is I, yours truly. I go by the name of Thando Nkonyana. Quite grateful that we got an opportunity. I greet this one in the holy name of Shiva, the one above, who made us. We wouldn't be here without his precious deciding. And we venture yet again into the concrete jungle via the segment that I love so much. Call it my current state of minds. And just before I recorded this episode, I was listening to something very interesting. I'm not going to illiterate that on this episode, but it is something that actually touched me in a way that be glad that certain doors were closed in your face. Be very glad. The reason why I'm asking you to be glad is because you don't know where those doors could have taken you. This is also a moment where I do a bit of reflection in terms of where I come from, the decision that I actually made in deciding the journey itself. And I wouldn't be here if I didn't actually trust in thyself and also, most importantly, trust in the divine's plans for me. The company I keep right now is company that I always take stock of on a daily basis, and especially through difficult moments. It's not only through the nice times that we have to reflect on who we have around and can we be able to lean on them during these times of difficulty, but most importantly, is what am I becoming because of these people? I think about the decisions I used to make and the fact that all these decisions were not backed by a matter of me actually trying to find out where these decisions could have led me. I find that I made a lot of emotional decisions, and every now and then, as human beings, we find ourselves in that spot where we let our emotions rule us in terms of how we're making those vital decisions, especially when we don't see the significance of those decisions. And to me, it doesn't even have to do with how big these decisions are. It's about the mere fact that on a daily basis, you are making decisions. I made a decision today that I'm actually going to record this episode and talk about this important thing is who am I becoming or the people that are in my company. And man, where do I even begin? I can start with my best friend Ulubabalo Chad Msipa, who started this entire revolution. The person that keeps on pouring into my cup. I can talk about Upongoletu Mahulwana. I can talk about Usungula Sitikyane, who gave me the courage to actually start the Vudu revolution, and many, many other people personally who didn't realize in the conversation they were having with me that they were pointing me back to myself, understanding how important and significant what am I doing, not just with the podcast, but most importantly, the conversations that I have. And I realize in most instances that a lot of us are not ready to actually face ourselves. We are still stuck in a rut where we don't want to face the reality, but actually want to continue living in the fiction because that is where comfort is. That is where nobody's going to bother to ask you, why have you not done this? But if I can be the biggest critic of my own life and understanding that that criticism doesn't come from a place of destroying, but it comes from a place of trying to make me do better, then I would understand the importance of being hard of myself. I think you should also take stock as well in terms of there are points in your life where you have been critical about who you are, the work that you've put in, you're not putting enough. And it's so normal as human beings for us to want to aspire to do more. But also, it is a skill that we must learn on being all right about where we are, being fine of the effort that we put in, understanding that the daily events also do impact in how we turn up in life. But most importantly, for us to strengthen our minds through difficult periods, to go to emotional school, like let the emotions go to school and not let them be the driver of what decisions are we going to make. We're not disacknowledging the emotions, but we are trying to instill an intelligence towards those emotions where we can interpret them in a way that will empower us. And any state of your life, whether it's sad, happy, whatever state you want to tell yourself, remember each and every state is temporary. Motivation is temporary, but imagine if you could build discipline in the hard days, even on days where you don't feel like getting up. You get up, you turn up, you do the necessary work, and you don't even give yourself an opportunity or a chance or time to actually pat yourself on the back because you don't know how many things that were against you that you had to fight through in order for you to make what you are currently doing a reality. And I always remind people that be careful of the words you speak about what you are doing. Words become things. When they say thoughts become things, it's something I think some of us have actually encountered in our life is that anything that started in that is in the physical started in the mental realm. We had to ingest and put in thought into who we want to be, who we want to become. And it's important for us to think undeniably on how it can become a reality and live as if it already has happened. That is a benchmark that I actually placed myself at one point, that I was living as if I already had it. And when you have had it, also take time for you to reflect and be like, do you honestly know that at one point what you have right now you are praying for? You are visualizing, you are manifesting that in the spiritual world. So the battle, most importantly, is spiritual before it becomes physical. Why do I talk about spiritual? I talk about spiritual because if your spirit has been attacked, how are you expecting to make things a reality in the physical? It's one of the things I had to take seriously with my journey when I started all of these meditations, this Isha Kriya, learning about spirits, going back to basics, and that it was reading, taking this topic of attending to your chakras important and how you need to fill yourself before you can spill unto others. Be selfish with you. It's nothing to do with the outside, but in fact, it has everything to do with you as the person. It made sense because you are giving so much to people and you never get that back. But if you can understand that whatever you give, you're always going to get back, that the karmic law actually does exist and that the universe is ruled and is operated by laws. What you put in, you're going to get out. What you think about, what you ponder on so much, you ponder it so much that it starts to become a reality. So, what you resist will persist. What are you currently resisting in your life? Is it the thought of change? And change is not immaculate. It's not gonna look nice, bro. It didn't look nice for me. It's not even looking nice right now. Because on a daily basis, I'm changing. On a daily basis, I have to challenge who I think I am. Because that idea evolves, sorry, on a daily basis. It evolves. And if I can't put myself in situations where the current identity is gonna be challenged, then I'm gonna be a resistor of change instead of an agent of one. So the company that I kept before I started this whole revolution was not company that was necessary for me to make it a reality. The people you came up with are not going to be the people that you actually rise up with. You start to realize that some people are anchors. To those who don't know what an anchor is what holds the boat from actually flowing away from the seaside, keeps it still. So, what are the necessary anchors that are holding you from, first of all, making the decision? You could find that you are the biggest anchor in your own life. In most cases, you're always the problem. But up until you face the reality that once I find out, am I me that is against me? The world is already against you. But if you against yourself, trust me, that's one of the biggest mountain that you have to climb. That's why the journey of self-education is so important. Like knowing yourself, loving yourself, healing yourself, taking care of yourself, rewarding yourself, punishing yourself. It always comes with the territory. It all comes to the territory. And I want to just say thank you to all those people who didn't believe in me. They were the biggest drive in my entire life. I'm not living to prove anything to them. I'm living to prove a point to myself. Because if I look back and I see that the trials and the tribulation that I went through, I'm actually thankful for them. I'm actually thankful that I I saw their true colors before this whole thing started to become a reality. Because where I'm going right now, I cannot be able to stop them. And there's no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs. And that's self-defined. Every single day, I'm in success. Every single video that I put up, I'm a success. Every single step that I take towards making my future reality a surety, I'm a success. You're a success right now. You made plans and you stuck through to those plans, keeping that promise to yourself. So I was quite grateful to all those people for for what they actually decided to do. And that was not believe in me. But I'm not mad at anyone. In fact, I'm glad to myself that the idea came at an early reckoning that they are not there to believe on your behalf. You are there on your own to believe in yourself. And the fundamental thing is that it's going to take time. It's going to take all these situations that you have to walk through. It's going to take a lot of trial and error. And we mustn't forget that the world is our oyster. The world is your lab. You are the scientist. You must go out there and try to find what works, what doesn't work. What you've been doing has only got you this far. What's next? That's required. That's something else. That's something else, man, as well. So I'm quite thankful to my circle of accountability. Shout out to Lubabalo Chad and Siba. Shout out to Pongoletu Mahola and shout out to Sungula Sitikiana. Shout out to Buhle Pochana. Shout out to Lukoti Mamputa. Shout out to everyone who's been on the show. Shout out to everyone who's contributed towards the journey, man. It's been such a beautiful thing to witness, not just only about the self, but about everything. Ngiyekele pheli. Ngiyekele. Ngiyathenga enye na? Unpaid.
Bye.
90 rand. All of these people that I've mentioned have become pillars because they are exemplary. Exemplary in a sense where they are living life as themselves. At no point I try to make them people they are not, because I understand what they have to contribute as people. So important. It's such a magnificent idea that your job is to discover you. And at any point, if you are not happy about who you are, then you can make different decisions. These men that I've mentioned, there's many other men who also have contributed immensely. I might not give them credit on the show, but in private, trust me, I do my utmost best to make sure that I let them know how important they are, the role that they have to play, the amazing human beings that they are. Everything that they've contributed is of significance. I also try to remind them that the same love that you have for me, don't forget to pour that unto others as well. You are such amazing individuals. You're good people. And I know it's so important for you to not prove that to anybody but yourself. We empaths. We understand how our decisions don't only impact us, but they impact the people around us. We're very self critical. We're ambitious. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong in waking up some days and it feels like, oh, it don't matter. But I'm here to tell you that it does matter, my friend. You matter. Everyone matters. And it's been a long journey, man. But still we rise. Still we rise. So when I started this about closed doors, be glad that you were not included in those conversations, Thando. Be glad that you were not reminded of what you were supposed to do. Hold. Be very glad. Such an amazing feeling, man, that I've embraced the role that I have. I have this wonderful baby girl who means the world to me. My daughter is my everything, man. I go to the ends of the world to see this child happy, to ensure that she has a better future, and teaching her most importantly that the world is out there to be explored. We become we can become anything that we want as long as we work at it. It's important for me to raise a child that's not entitled, who must know that nobody owes you anything. Even I, yourself, as your parent, as your father, I can only teach you as much, but the rest you need to learn on yourself. But you must always know that your father is always going to be here to protect you, to guide you, to ensure that you always strive to become a better version of yourself. And for you not to conform to the idea that I have of what I want for you. There are many parents who have an idea of what they want their kids to be. They don't pay any attention to try to find out what does actually my child want for themselves. Some call it we giving our kids too much freedom. But how are we supposed to build a relationship with this young person who's still trying to discover themselves if we don't allow them to discover themselves? We must allow our kids to make mistakes so that we can be able to rectify them. But us as parents, if we are coming from a place of control, how are we supposed to guide our kids? My mom did all she could for us. She did her best. And trust me, she could only do as much. Now it was up to me to pick up the baton. To me, that is the role of a parent. Do as much as you can to ensure that your child gets the necessary values instilled so that they can be able to not survive, but live the fulfilled life. Sometimes we forget we're actually here to live. We survive so much. Every single day, we're just dragging ourselves. And we wouldn't be human if we didn't experience those things. We wouldn't be human because everything in this world has an effect, an influence upon how we see the world, experiences that we endure. But the fundamental important thing is how we're going to interpret the hardship. In fact, I'm grateful I went through struggle at such an early age. I couldn't sit there and ask the creator, why me? I asked myself, why not me? What if the pain that you're going through is the lessons that you are running away from? You've been planted exactly where you're supposed to be. You are exactly where you need to be. But you also need to interpret that in an empowering way. I used to be ashamed of where I came from, up until I realized that what have I got to lose if I embrace who I am? Embrace where I've been. And tell my story. Holding the pen. I need to hold that pen and let it empower me. So, to every role that I actually venture into, I aspire to be the best at it. At anything. Even if it's just sweeping the floor, I want to be the best at doing that. Not because I'm in competition with anybody else, but because that's the standard that I've set for myself. So, what standards have you set yourself as a person? What standards, what responsibility have you put on you? So, it's either you make progress or you make excuses. Like I always say, they don't care what's going on, deliver the content. I'm going to keep delivering. That's what I want to be remembered as regardless of what was happening around him, he delivered. It's a commitment to self. Not when things were good. Not when you had all these people cheering you on and on and on. Because the size of the audience never mattered. I'm here to do what I'm destined to do. And that's the most important thing. I sleep better at night knowing I played my part. Now the rest is up to you. So if you are gaining value from everything that I'm put out there, I want to say thank you to you. But I also want you to apply it to your own life. If you could learn from everything that I'm saying, everything that I'm doing, and apply it in your own life, how relevant is what I'm saying about my life in your own life? Because this is a personal diary. People are gonna come and comment, oh you and this. I'm not bothered by that. To me, the most important thing is that I touched something in you that perhaps you've been meaning to disacknowledge. I want you to be better. That's why. And I know most of the time I'm saying stuff that you don't want to hear, but it's stuff that you need to hear. I always remind my circle of accountability, I will not help you destroy yourself. I'll only help you build yourself. I say that to my family as well. When you are ready to stop playing, then I'll be there. In the meantime, you are still playing, continue. Life is not pap and fleece. It's not easy. You might make it look easy, but it's not easy. Whoever tells you it's easy is lying to you. They're just comforting you. I don't want comfort. I want the hardcore truth. Tell me where I'm going wrong so I can fix it. Tell me how to improve. But you can't be critical and you don't tell me how to do things better. That is why it's called constructive criticism. If you can't criticize constructively so that I can do better, and I understand everyone has opinions, but I'm not here to address your opinions. I'm here opening myself up so that you can make me better. If what I said can be able to be relatable to you, beautiful. But if you're gonna come and want to criticize without constructiveness, then I'm not even gonna pay mind to it. You'll be fighting with yourself in the comment section. You'll be fighting with yourself, meeting me on the road, thinking that I'm gonna entertain bullshit. Bullshit is bullshit, man. We can't bullshit yourself. But you can't bullshit a bullshitter. And I took that from David Gennaro, a fictional character in Rhythm City. Back in the days when I was still watching soapies. But I was so intrigued with this character. You can't bullshit a bullshitter. Don't throw stones at this man. He will build a house out of those stones. So stop bullshitting yourself. You can bullshit the world, but don't bullshit yourself. Don't constantly keep on lying and you think things are going to get better. It's only going to get worse from here onwards. But if in every day you can take it as a day in a ring where you have to put your gloves on and fight, trust me, now life becomes fun because you know it's a battle, it's a war. You have to fight. In a reading, we are preparing ourselves on how we can be able to tackle the fight called life itself. You are not one drop in the ocean. Your life is significant. Yes, you are pop in and you pop out. But right now, if you are listening to this is the space between the time you popped in and the time that you were going to pop out. And that's the beautiful thing. We know when we got here, but we don't know when we are going to leave here. So the space in between that time is the fundamental important thing. Making the best out of it. Living life to its fullest, man. Thanking those who were here before us. Giving props to them. Preparing those who will come after us. This beautiful girl that I love so dearly, that I'm going my all to ensure that she has a better life, she has a better outlook, things become better for her. The next generation that's going to come out of her is going to be way, way better than me. But I'm human as well. I go through things. I'm still healing from my childhood as well. That's why I'm going to therapy. I'm taking the responsibility, and sometimes, not even sometimes, all the time in life, you have to learn that you are going to have to heal things that were not your fault. Even venturing into relationships, we have to heal hearts that we didn't break. It's not about whose fault it is, it's about the fact that you took responsibility. Take responsibility for your life. No one else is going to be. Design your life the same way that we design our weekends, our holidays, our time off, those who are employed. Is the same way that we must start to design our own lives. Who would I like to be? What habits does that person have? What does the ultimate destination look like for them? Yes, you're going to plan all those things. But if those things are not aligned with what the Creator has for you will destroy them. Don't lose focus. Remember why you started in the first place. And people need your gift. Work on your gift. Yes, do your job, pay your bills, do all of those things, but your gift is not in your job. Your gift is going to take you where your job can't even. Like Jim Rohn says, work on yourself harder than you do on your job. Your job is only there to pay you. Can't be doing the most breaking backs instead of working for yourself so that you can increase your value. Network. Build important relationships. Don't be hard on yourself because you're already doing it, Thando. Thank you, young man. Thank you to everyone who's encountered my content. I sound like this today because I'm content with self. I'm grateful. Cut my hair, removed my beard. I love myself. I will take care of myself. I'll put myself first. Irregardless of what we are going to be encountered with, Thando. Don't forget greatness is within. Remain hungry. Persevere. Love. Cry when it's necessary. Laugh as much as you can. Feel the emotional ride of everything that comes with the day that is not guaranteed. Be thankful for life itself. Spread love. Encourage yourself. Encourage others. Love yourself. Love others. Spread as much knowledge as you can. Spread positivity. Remember your fundamental goal. What doesn't grow you doesn't owe you. If it doesn't grow me, it doesn't own me. The quote you created for yourself, Thando. Break barriers. Let people blossom and prosper because of your presence. And fundamentally, it will all work out. To my mama in heaven, Mampele ndiyabulela ntombazana. Ndiyabulela ngeentsikelelo zakho, mama. Ndiyabulela ngazo zonke izinto ondenzileyo yona. I'm so grateful that you were my mother in the spirit, in the physical realm. But you still continue to be my mother. I'll choose you in another lifetime. And I know you're watching over me and you're proud of me. You're proud of your kids. Continue to guide them into this world that is full of misery, full of chaos. Protect them from all the things that I have been sent to harm them. Take them to the path where it's going to be prosperous. Let them think about their own legacies that they are living. Give them hope. Show them love. And don't ever give up on them. And I'm thankful for all those values that you instilled in us. And I see its importance in the life that I lead today. I love you, Thando Nkonyana. To my father as well, I forgave you a long time ago. Forgiveness is something that we do so we can free ourselves. It's not for the other person. It's not my job to build a relationship with you, but you are one of the reasons why I'm here. Pilani Limited Nkonyana. That is my father, whom I love so much. And I have a picture here. This is my mom and dad and my uncle. This is their 5th anniversary. This is in 2005. My mom and dad got married in 2000. But this is a picture of them having a ceremony. And every time I cut my hair and I look at this man, I'm like, damn, I look just like my fucking dad. But I'm thankful for these two individuals to meet. Yes, it wasn't ideal or how their relationship ended, but I am thankful. Ndiyabulela ntombazana. Ndiyabulela nawe tata. Thank you. This is another end of the current state of mind, a section that I hold dear. As long as I have breath in my body, I'm never going to stop doing what I'm doing. Because it's never about the reactions, about the likes, about whether you still tune in, you're watching. It's more about me holding the pen and being in charge of my story. Namaste and shalom.